How are you all doing? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you all are doing absolutely amazing. Do you want to become the charmer in any room you enter? Do you want to become so impactful while you're speaking, while you are talking to people, be it on the stage or while you're interacting with people one-on-one? Or whatever the purpose of your presence at a particular place is, don't you just want to be the most impactful person in that room? Well, what I can guarantee you is that in this video, you're going to be learning from the best, because I have a history of entering into rooms and being noticed. But when I was younger, I used to take this in such a derogatory manner. I used to despise any attention that I would get, and I thought that it was coming as a form of judgment. But as I grew older, I realized that it wasn't really judgment, it wasn't really negative. It actually was a sign that there is something about me that stands out. And it took me time to realize that, but when I finally did, alhamdulillah, I'm here teaching you guys how to do the same, how to sort of make sure that you create an impact wherever you go. It's going to allow you to lock those business deals, to make sure that you are convincing, you're persuasive when you are around people, and at the same time, you have friends wherever you go. People want to be around you, they want to gravitate towards you. You also have to be vibrating high in order to do that, and that's why I really want to recommend you to make sure that you get your habits in check and your day-to-day activities in check. I don't want you guys to be engaged in any form of gossip, in any form of low vibrational behavior, such as talking down on other people, engaging in what others are doing instead of looking at yourself, or for that matter, I don't know, what are other low vibrational behaviors? Oh, crying over somebody that left your life, or to live in the state of lack and hopelessness. No. We're not doing that. You have to be hopeful wherever you go. You have to be abundant wherever you go. Having that trust in yourself that you know that wherever you go, you will find your footing. You will set an impression for yourself. You will set an impact. And not to brag, you guys, but I keep talking about these public speaking clubs that I go to, mainly Toastmasters, and then there are networking events I go to as well. I also actually attend workshops once in a while, and whenever I do, right, when I was insecure and when I did not know my strength and I wouldn't think very positively of myself, I would really just wonder, and I would be so occupied in wondering, how are people going to perceive me? How are people going to take me? And I feel like that is one of the number one things that took me away from actually setting an impact in front of people. What it made me focus on is just, what are they going to say? What are they going to think? Or are they going to judge me? And you know what I used to end up doing? I used to actually manifest such situations where I would actually be judged. But now it's like I'm so sure and confident about myself in any room I enter into, and that took a lot of time. 20 years. 20 years, guys. Some people tell me you're so young, and at the young age you've started with so much, and I'm just like, no. I think quite oppositely of it, actually. I think I could have been much more confident. In fact, I in my school used to see, like, I used to compare myself a lot to girls, okay, not guys. I used to see these girls, they'd be so effortlessly confident, they'd have these friend circles, and I used to just look at them and be like, why don't I have that? Why are they so confident with everything? Why do they manage to pull off any situation and I'm out here just insecure? Because I hadn't accepted myself for the way I was, and I wanted to be like them. And that brings me to the number one thing you shouldn't be doing, guys, which is not compare yourself to anybody. It is so embarrassing when you enter into rooms and you want to compare yourself to other people. I feel like nothing can be more embarrassing. And it is now that I'm 20 and I'm surrounded by people of a similar age group that, we all have these individualities and we're firm on them, that I think it's a little bit embarrassing and out of touch for me. But there were times that your sis used to actually enter into rooms and compare herself to other people, or the kind of content that I'd consume. I'd try to really fit myself into what kind of the influencer I was following I most suited, right? Because I thought that I need to be like someone, needed to just a correction, in order to fit in or in order to be accepted as someone in the society. But for all you know, when I realized that I don't have to be like somebody, I don't have to be the 2.0 version of somebody to be accepted. All I have to do is be myself. And the most amount of attention, appreciation, or the compliments I've gotten have come after I started embracing who I really am. And that also lands me to, don't really think that you're gonna learn how to be yourself without having inspiration. Now, stick with me on that one. There's something called an alter ego, right? And I take it, people call alter ego to be something that is out of us. We'll have to adopt somebody else's personality or be like somebody else and put up a front that's not a part of us, that's not really us in front of the world, to be coming across a certain way. But I believe that our alter ego is an average of the 5 people that we're the most inspired by, and also something that is internal. Like, imagine if I walk into a room full of confident women, let's say, and I really admire one quality about each of them, there is no way I'm able to look at those qualities, figure them out, and admire them if I wouldn't have had them in myself. Make sure that whatever you see in others and you like, you take it up. I did not have the accent that I do have right now, like 5 years ago. I didn't. Not because I wouldn't have liked trying out this accent. You best believe I started, researching different accents and like learning different accents back in the day itself, but I was too timid and terrified to try out the accents in front of the people to be judged. And by the way, even right now when I have an accent, I am judged, but at least I am so detached that I know like I could go into the lane of people pleasing and not being who I really want to be and be accepted by the people out there. Or I could be myself and be judged for it, but I will have a peaceful sleep at night because I was being myself throughout. And that's what we aim for you guys as well. Discover your alter ego. And this is something I tell my students as well, the ones that I give soft skills classes to. I tell them that find out your alter ego. Really. Find out something that's pre-existent in you that you really like and admire in others as well, that you watch others doing and you just want to take up. How about tomorrow you just try it? And it's really helped them as well, alhamdulillah. And I want to tell you the same thing. Find out your alter ego and present that to the world, and don't be afraid of it, right? Don't be afraid to be yourself, because yes, it will attract people that will be repulsed by it. It will attract insecure people that want to comment upon it, but it will also attract like-minded people who probably you will inspire. I kid you not. So have it and showcase it wherever you go. And another reason why you have to take up your alter ego is because day before yesterday at night, I had to deliver a class at 10 p.m. and I was just feeling so lazy and sleepy. But I just told myself, Khairunisa, you have done it for months now. You can do it even right now. There's just one class to go and we have the whole weekend laid out in front of us. And we will reward us by the end of it, meaning I will reward me and Allah will reward me, inshallah. Allah always rewards and blesses me, alhamdulillah, and may Allah bless you all as well. And He is blessing all of us, alhamdulillah. May He bless our Palestinian brothers and sisters as well, even our brothers and sisters in Syria and Sudan. Ameen summa ameen. Sometimes you don't feel like it. You might be lazy, you might not be feeling your best, you might be chumming, and then at those times you don't really feel the best. Especially as a woman, we have testosterone releasing in us only once a month, as compared to men who have that hormone releasing in them every single day, every single morning. So you understand that most swings and hormonal changes due to hormonal changes are very much a part of our life, right? But in order to navigate that, sometimes you have to just put up that front where you have to actually consciously take up that confidence, and that's what people call faking it as well, but that's really just still being confident, because where is the urge to get that confidence out of coming from? So be your most confident self. Like on Sundays at 9 a.m. we set out to attend Toastmasters meetings, which is again a public speaking club, for your reference, because I just don't want to keep using it without you guys really knowing what it really is. Some days I don't feel like it, but then I remind myself of what all we take away from it. What I then take away from networking, and then even sitting with my group of friends and like having a chat with them about life in general. And it is so beneficial, alhamdulillah, in all ways. And I've never regretted waking up that early on a Sunday morning and attending Toastmasters sessions. Do I get the nerve-wracking feeling sometimes? Yes. Do I get nervous sometimes? Yes. Do I feel lazy and sore-throated sometimes, thinking that, oh, I might fall sick? and I still get up and realize it wasn't true. It was just what I was imagining and perhaps foreseeing based on what dullness I was experiencing in the moment. Yes. That's why I'm telling you, get yourself out of your comfort zone by adopting an alter ego which you know the best about. An alter ego is a friend that we put up in front of the world, which basically kind of includes faking your confidence, but it isn't really it, because again, you get that confidence out of yourself. Somebody doesn't do abracadabra and put the confidence in you. Like, they don't do magic and put the confidence in you, right? You have to get it out of yourself. So congratulate yourself for doing it every single time you have had to, right? And in order to get some work done, you have to be confident. You have to be the version of yourself that probably the side of you that's rotting in bed and listening to sad music and probably having a cry just to release her emotions wouldn't really fit that particular meeting or that particular deal you have to lock, right? You have to be confident, and that's exactly why fake it initially. Eventually you will reach there where you realize that it's just a part of you now, that you have to have this side of you and it isn't gone. I was talking to one of my students who told me that, right now, like at this stage in my life, I'm so dull and I'm so less energized as compared to my initial like years of turning into an adult. And I was like, I don't think that's true. I think it's just suppressed in you because of the environment that you've been in that really enforces suppressing our charming side, our excitement towards life. Like, why would your company, the corporate world, ever want you to bring that side up? Because that would be more lean towards like your entrepreneurial creative side. But most of these companies that want to make you work like 24/7 don't really think of your benefit that way. And we really helped her find out a side of hers that's more jovial and that's more free and that's more comfortable with herself, alhamdulillah. And that really helped, right? Alhamdulillah. So it's not like you're dull. It's not like you're done with life. It's not like the side is in you, that side of yours that was there when you were a young teenager or a late teenager or a young adult. It's still there. It's just that maybe you need to engage in activities that you used to do back in the day and unlearn your beliefs of, oh, I'm so and so age now. I'm too old to be doing this. I'm too old to engage in this activity. I'm too old to connect to my inner child. No. You're never too old for connecting to your inner child. You're never too old for wanting to try out a couple of things. Anything, literally, that a young adult might. It's just you're the one caging yourself. Like a lot of times you don't really even have to know so much even about science and biology. Why? Because people say, like, from what I've seen of people in my life as well, my loved ones, and it's a little hurtful as I say this, but in their early and late 30s, and their health issues started from that age. But if I were to sit down and think to myself that even I would be, God forbid, affected by that, and like, all I have is right now, that's why I have to make the best of what I have right now, which is good in a way. But like, if it is out of the fear of then reaching my 30s and 40s and feeling like I won't be as capable as I am right now because of science and how bones get weaker and this and that, and after how you become a mother, you're gonna be less capable. Again, I don't want to learn all of these things. I feel like it's more subconscious about your efforts, your excitement, and your desire towards living than anything else. That's it. So you need to really listen to your subconscious mind, and you need to make sure that there's no age limit or timeline to being a creative individual, to charming people, to being somebody that enters into a room and is just so full of positive energy. They even spread their positive energy to other people. Like, people actually gain energy from being around them. People actually ask for you when you enter into rooms. I've had times where people have literally asked me at Toastmasters. Even this one time when I got late, it seems one of my friends texted, and I'm gonna put it up somewhere here. Bro, everyone's asking about our group and whether you'd be coming, and I was like, oh God, this is so special, alhamdulillah. And it really is, because all I do is go and show up as my best self, who is kind to people, who listens, who also is doing my best for my benefit, and that's it. One of the things that you have to do is be a good and an empathetic listener. What do I mean by that? When we enter into rooms, we are hyper fixated on what are others going to think about us. And this is something I've been having to talk to most of my students, and it's okay because as long as it's benefiting them, that a lot of the times when you get nervous during conversations, when you fumble over your words, when you think you messed up, is generally when you think that the other person is paying more attention to you than they really are. Nobody thinks about you as much as you are thinking about yourself. They don't know the weaknesses of you that you are constantly thinking about. The way that you are hyperfixated on your weaknesses and on what all you think can go wrong, they don't know it yet. And this is something, again, I spoke to about with one of my students. I told her, like with filler words, even like the ums and the ahs that we tend to use, the way we can avoid them is pause every single time we feel the urge to utter a filler word. Because the nervousness when it's inside of you, it's not heard. No one hears it. But when we voice it out with like so, these unnecessary filler words, then it's heard, right? And then people, that's when they know that you're not confident. And that's all right, because we cannot always control what comes out of our tongue, but we can try. Same way, you don't really have to focus so much on yourself because they are not focusing on you so much. In fact, you know what they're focusing on the most? Themselves. I witnessed a debate where after the debate was done, most of the participants were asked, what were you focused on the most? What the other person was saying, or while the other person was talking, what you are going to say next when your turn comes? Not very surprisingly replied with themselves. They were all mostly focused on themselves. You know why? Because people are generally very focused on themselves. And when you, of all people, are not focused on yourself so much, but you're focused on the person you're talking to, you're focused to your audience, you're focused on people in the sense that you're a good and an empathetic listener. You're actually asking people questions about themselves. It could be as simple as, what is your name? Me and I have never heard of it before. Or if that's not the case, then you can talk about a hobby of theirs that they're passionate about, or how people love talking about themselves. And imagine you are the way, the mode through which they get to talk about themselves. It would be such a delight to be around you. Because generally people, again, because of how they love talking about themselves, they are generally accustomed to others as well talking so much about themselves. But you taking one step back and letting the other person talk is going to make you stand out. And as much as you think how and this and that, it's actually going to make you stand out. More than actually speaking about yourself, when you speak to others and listen to them and ask them questions, it's actually going to create a very powerful impact of you, because that's going to indicate that you're very secure in yourself. And people don't really have that. And when you do, of all people, you will stand out. Okay, this is something I have been guilty of. Cannot help it, I have ADHD, but I have this habit of using my phone when I'm talking to people. You're looking into your phone and you're not paying attention to the other person, you're not making eye contact, you're busy with something else, even though you might be very much interested in what the other person's talking about. And you might just have this habit of scrolling on phone or checking your messages more often than not. The other person's gonna think that this person doesn't really care enough about me. This person thinks that what I'm talking about is not so important. Maybe they think that their phone is more important. And I know, as much as it is not so huge, they really do think that. I want you to be expressive. Because if in this video I talk like this and I'm not very expressive and I don't have a body language going, I don't change the tone of my voice, and not even my expressions, which is so difficult for me, by the way, then am I going to create a better impact? Or if I talk like this, where I'm using my hands, I'm using my facial expressions to exude a certain emotion in the audience, when I'm changing the vocal variety, then that's when I create a better impression, don't I? That's when you as an audience feel like listening to me more. That's what you have to do when you, my friend, are talking to people. You have to be not just a good listener, but you also have to make sure that you move your arms and hands around, that you change the tone of your voice. If you want to talk about something very confidential maybe, or something that you want should sound more serious, then you deepen your voice like this. And now, can you see how I sound serious just naturally? Also, what people who are really impactful as speakers tend to do is they start at a high-pitched tone and then they take it down to a slightly lower pitched tone. especially towards the end, they lower their pitch. That's also one of the strategies that they use to be effective communicators. So that's what you can do as well in order to be more expressive and express your personality better. Try playing around with your body language, with your facial expressions. Even choose words which really are impactful and make you stand out and are different. One of my students is so eloquent. She is into poetry, so naturally she is eloquent. Her choice of words are very unique and different, and I always enjoy giving her classes. It's just because of the way she is herself, and she's not afraid to express herself the way she really is and choose the words that she really wants to, instead of thinking that this is the normal word to choose or this is the normal way to construct a sentence. It's always amazing to be creative with what you say and how you behave. Be eloquent, you guys. I don't know how it's pronounced. Be eloquent, which means be good at public speaking, be good at your communication skills, be informed about different topics in the world, be good at communicating. I feel like that's also very important. It naturally just sets a good impression, and again, because I've been delivering these classes, I get insights on this concept as well. I've had a lot of my students share with me that, you know, I have so and so experience of years, like literal years, and it's decades. But then what they lack in is the communication skills aspect, which keeps them hindered from getting promoted or something. And they tell me that, you know what, I want to get promoted, that's my next goal. And you see, this is the importance of communication skills. This is the importance of being a good communicator in the room, of being eloquent. People will notice you. You will naturally be noticed. You will have a leverage over other people. That's just, it goes without saying. Another very important thing, and the final thing, is be adventurous. Have a little bit of adventure to your personality. Be fearless even. I feel like girls get this a lot, where we're asked to be mysterious. What about you are recommended to be adventurous instead? If you're especially this overshared or extroverted person, it's not so good a lot of the times, but you know, let's say that you're unpredictable in a way that every single time someone meets you, there's something about you that is surprising to them and that is intriguing to them. Maybe you discover a newer hobby, you're doing things that are just very much out of your comfort zone, or perhaps you're trying out a new activity, you're into a club, you're a member of a club where an activity is done majorly in order to brush up a skill again, or something just keeps updating about your lifestyle. Maybe you're not the same person anymore, not in terms of you've changed or something, but like, you know, you've evolved. You're constantly high on your evolution, so people don't really know what's coming next. Yes, then people have something new to discover about you every single time, and then you're also not compelled to fit into the category of somebody that has to be mysterious, and at the same time you have to make sure that you don't reveal too much, or you're this and that. You just rather be an adventurous person who never gets boring, because of your desire and ability to constantly evolve, which also keeps people curious and surprised at your different evolutions. So yes, I feel like that's about it for this video. Know that these are the things that help you stand out in the world. I know that sometimes not being noticed, not being able to live up to your full potential, and doing the things that you know you could have done in order to reach your highest potential, not doing those things can really make you disappointed. And yeah, like, I've had people tell me that I would have been more confident if I just lived up to the promises I made to myself. And if I just did what I wanted to do. And if you actually want to try out these things and just take a chance at life in terms of getting out of your comfort zone, becoming a member of a new club, taking up a new activity, or just in terms of like expanding your community even, then these things are really going to help you guys. From personal experience, I'm sharing this. And inshallah, you'll come back to this video and drop a little thank you to me. All I want for all of you is to be confident in your skin and to be confident about yourself. And inshallah, you will reach that goal very, very soon. I hope you guys had a good time listening to it. And after you follow these advices in your life, inshallah, you will see a rapid improvement in the way people perceive you, in the way you start believing in yourself, and in the way you start showing up in front of the world. Trust me, it's worth it, inshallah. And make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while you are at it. Ask Allah to give you a purpose, because again, you might be wanting to practice all of these things, but if you're not practicing these things at the place where you want to, or the place where people are receptive towards the adventurous, the eloquent, and the best version of you, then it's not worth it. And I know that because I was at a job, right, recently where I was working, and I remember that I used to, every single morning, I used to go into my job and I used to compliment like my colleagues on their outfits and stuff. Of course, females, not men. And one of the girls like really took that the wrong way. And you know those mean girls who think they're the best, but they're really just insecure and they want to put other girls down by lifting themselves up. Like, she used to be really passive aggressive, and most of the girls were like that. So I just knew that this is not the place for me. I just cannot fit in over here. And it's not the matter of you work and then you leave. No, you literally spend so many of your hours with such people. There's no way you won't exchange energies, and you will eventually, God forbid, land into a space where you have a mentality similar to theirs and as limited as theirs. And I was like, I'm not gonna be here. In fact, my soft skills classes allow me to explore versions of myself that are not just helpful to my students, but also make me discover parts of myself and practice everything that I've learned over the years, which also allow me to be more confident. So if you're interested in taking classes from me on soft skills, enhancing your self-esteem, or spoken English for that matter, DM me on my Instagram account with interested. Inshallah, I will help you improve rapidly in all those departments. Okay then, Jazakallah khair for watching this video. If you like this video, do hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more such videos in the future, inshallah. I will meet you guys in my next video. Until then, take care. Allah Hafiz. Biman Allah.